Hey everybody, alright, here's my first video since returning from York. York is always fun to go. I'm going to offer some opinions here that might seem that I don't like York, but if you're into this train hobby, you have to go to York and experience it at least once in your life. It is such a nice experience. The people there are all great. This video here was shot on Thursday. I did something different this year in that I went up there twice. I went up on Monday to do all the bandit shows, the unaffiliated shows, just see what I've been missing all these years, and everybody always raves about them. I'll start off. Those shows are the same vendors that are at the TCA show, so it's not a different group of people. And the vendors treat York, they get together twice a year, and it's more of a social club than really caring about selling trains. At least that was the feeling I got from going to the bandit shows. There was a lot more socialization, a lot more talking between the vendors. One thing that disturbed me a little bit was the fact that I was looking at all the stuff at these bandit shows, and with at least 3 of the vendors inquiring on prices for things they had, I was given prices that I thought were way out of the ballpark, too much money. And then when I went to the York show with the same vendor and the same thing, the prices in some cases were $300 and $400 less than what they were quoting at the bandit shows. So I'm at a little bit of a loss to see or understand why that has occurred with more than one vendor. And for me, I see no reason to attend those shows. Traffic inside these halls too was not at all busy. Now I did do this on a Monday. I don't know if it picked up for Tuesday or Wednesday. The best site to go to for the pre-shows was the Wyndham Gardens. Definitely had the most vendors. They definitely had top of the line selections there. Lots and lots of pre-war, and in most cases these things look like they were new out of the box. So I don't know if they were just trying to get an extra premium the beginning of the week, or what was going on, but I did notice that these same items at the show were definitely less money. So just keep that in mind. It's all about the haggling and bargaining, and never take their first price, especially early in the week. And maybe that's why the prices were higher too, because first day of the show, and they probably figure, okay, they're not going to drop their prices till they get to the York show. I don't know. That's how that is. The best part of this video for me was you'll see a section that was on the choo-choo barn that was in the purple hall where all the layouts were. This is exactly, in my opinion, what the TCA needs to focus on. The choo-choo barn has now made a mobile scenic van that they drive to schools, and they actually put on classes teaching kids wiring, landscaping, how to make a layout. And it's pretty educational, and if we can get kids hands-on, this is how you're going to get people to come back in the hobby. And I'll finish up with my closing remarks anyway, but here we'll go with the video as shot on Thursday. Alright, here we go. Here's the October York Show 2024. Pulling in. All looks the same. We'll see what the day brings. Always look forward to this show. So as we start today, I usually park down by Orange Hall, by the field area. Orange Hall and vending areas over here. For me, this is Thursday, so the show starts at noon, and it's 11:15 at the moment. So I usually start by going to the layout building because that's open and you can get in, and then I head down to silver and blue halls and do black if that one's open, or red, and then I end my day coming back over to Orange Hall, pick up parts and light bulbs, all the stuff I have run out of through the year. So this year is already a little different. The Purple Hall used to just be test tracks, which have been moved over there, but they had the pre-show here last night, and so some of the vendors have actually just stayed in this area. So there's some stuff to look at before the official opening. No business can be conducted, but
like that. Going right back to him. So bad.
Well, here's something new and different. I was speaking with the representative from the Choo Choo Barn, and what they've done is they've now made this mobile layout, and they're targeting schools and looking to get kids involved, and they have a little learners class that you can sign up for, and they give each child a 2x2 square to decorate, and that track runs through so they can link them all up in the schools, and it's their way of reaching out to the youth population and get them interested in trains. They're very energetic about it. I think it's a great idea, and they've invested a lot of time in trying to bring our hobby back to the younger kids. They've also set this all up as a non-profit because there are kids and teaching involved. So I wish them the best. It seems to be a great idea, and they've done quite a nice job on this little display truck. If you guys don't actually know where they are located, they're actually in Strasbourg, and they're just down the road from the Strasbourg Railroad, and a little farther up the road is the TCA headquarters. This is Silver Hall. The show opened up about 10 minutes ago. Look for your friends. Alright, here's Blue Hall. I gotta give you $5. So it's 10 to 1. I'd say traffic's a little light for a Thursday. The stuff that I'm seeing that is really nice, a lot of pre-war stuff and a lot of American Flyer. So far I would say prices are a little on the high side compared to what I'm used to. Next on the agenda is Black Hall. I've had good luck in there too. Let's see what the crowd looks like and what's on the tables. There's a TCA booth in Orange Hall, and outside of there they got a little mobile layout. Okay, so the takeaways from the halls, as you can see, I was there all day Thursday, almost till closing time, and traffic was the lightest I've ever seen it at a October show. I didn't go to April this year. I noticed that the last time I went to the April show, traffic was also pretty much on the light side, and there were a lot of extra empty tables that just never even got filled at April. So I come up from Florida, and I wanted to at least make it worth my while, and if it's not going to be a full show, I'm going to wait till October. So the show on a whole, as you can see, wasn't much traffic going on for the entire day. I went the whole show and I was looking for two things, and believe it or not, I ended up not buying anything until I went down the last aisle of the Orange Hall, and I found something that I thought was a great deal, and I did pick it up. But up until then, the only thing I had picked up was a $5 school bus for my layout, and I was going to get home and tell my wife, "Oh, hey, look what I got." It didn't work out that way in the end. I found a gem, but here's what we ended up finding. I am now the owner of the post-war girl set with the transformer. The transformer had the cord cut off, so I got a white cord and have done that and rewired it, and that's all working. But this set was in great condition. There's a couple of nicks, and yeah, it's obviously been run around. It's missing one of the ears on the cow catcher, but it was a pretty clean car. The rest of the cars also, they have wear on them, but that's what you would expect for a set that was played with. So no boxes, but almost got away without any kind of major purchase, which would have surprised me. But I was very happy with this set. The thing that was wrong with the engine was the smoke unit was totally destroyed. So I bought a donor 2037 and went and pilfered the smoke unit out of it. So, now that I have the real thing, I'm going to go up to the back wall. That was the first remake in '91. So that one's coming down. The post-war one will go up on display there. And I'm going to probably end up selling the 91 set. The 91 set was also unique because that one came with track and a transformer. All the remakes since then did not have a transformer or track. Alright, so final thoughts. First off, there are plenty of other videos about York if you search on YouTube. Just put in York October 2024. There's another gentleman that also was at the Thursday show. He spent a lot more time actually filming what was on everybody's tables, so you can actually get a better feel for the stuff that was being offered and some of the prices. And you know, he headed his video with the famous term that always sparks interest: is the hobby dying? And you know, if you look at attendance, it's definitely slipping. If you look at the age of the people that are doing the selling and the buying, you know, I think, you know, I just turned 61. There's not too much of a spread in between, and that's why I love seeing the Choo Choo Barn display. That's the only way that we're going to get kids back into the hobby and generate interest. But other people will say, oh, the hobby's alive and well, and it's been doing this for on and off for the last 20, 30 years. My take on it, and when I walk around this show, people still expect top dollar for stuff that is common. And, you know, if you have no entry-level people, any age, there's no demand for a 2056 engine or any of the common locomotives. Everybody has those. So those were entry engines. So if you don't have new people coming into the hobby, there's no demand for a lot of rolling stock. There's no demand for most of the post-war engines. If you know me now, I've been trying to sell down my collection for some time, and you know, I'm talking to other people, and everybody seems to be doing the same. Everybody is leaving the quote, I'm no longer a collector, I'm an operator. So everybody's trying to sell down their collections, and it's a lot of top of the line stuff, and because of that, prices are also going down. York doesn't see that. Those vendors still think that they sit on gold and they're going to get their top dollar, but those people aren't around anymore. The other final note that, you know, new engines costing $1,000 to $1,800 and even higher in some cases. You know, all those engines, once you buy them and take them home, take them out of the box, what's the resale value on any of those things? It depreciates worse than a car. I mean, you get yourself a $1,500 engine, and by the time you take it home and say, I don't know about that anymore, you'll be lucky to get $600 for it. How can the hobby sustain itself with that kind of loss? And who's buying these $1,700 engines? I don't see that. I don't know. It's a hobby for me, and I enjoy it. But you know, am I going to buy a $1,700 engine that doesn't have any value to anybody else? And even worse than that, if a circuit board goes bad a year after I buy it, it's nothing more than a paperweight, because nobody makes parts for these boards. So for me, I got to stay old school, and I'm going to say post-war runs to the end of time. You can always fix them, and right now you can buy new in the box post-war because everybody's selling down their collections. Those are my thoughts. I love the hobby. I don't like what I see happening with the hobby. I don't see how York can continue to be a twice-a-year show. I hope it continues that interest, but you know, my socialization with the vendors is, since COVID, there has been no crowds, and they haven't even had a really good show since then. So how long can the vendors afford to keep coming to York, and how much interest is there going to be? I do understand there was a lot more traffic on Friday. I also understand they had a power outage for like 2.5 hours that also put a cramp on things. Everybody was in the dark and really kind of hard to make your judgment calls on what you wanted, but you got to go with the flow on that. If you haven't been, again, like I said in the beginning, it's still a worthwhile trip to just experience it. Just realize that there's still other places to buy good quality post-war trains other than York, and always watch what you pay. Hope you found it interesting. I always love the York show. I'll definitely keep going to the October show until it doesn't happen anymore. But I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to be able to maintain the level that they currently have. But have a good night. Drop your comments. I know this generates a lot, and what I said is probably not all that popular, but it's what I see. God bless. Have a good day.